Hi guys, how are you doing today? I hope you're doing good. So today's very short video about, as I said in my community message, that what's learning. So I'm going to share my experience about what's learning, and this video is going to be very different and very short. So let's see, without wasting time, uh, let me share the screen. So here in this video, I'm going to share you some images, as you can see here. It looks very cute. But what exactly, there's a purpose behind to show these images. And I'm sure you are going to analyze these experiences in your own life, what you do exactly. So first thing is that what I'm going to share with you, what is learning, right? This is exactly the question is. Now, how we exactly define this word, the learning. So after getting several definitions from the writers, including the different domains of the other subjects, just like the philosophy of education, management, and the general methods of the teaching, that learning is actually uh, changing in behavior, changing in behavior. Okay, this is what exactly the learning is now. Now, the main thing is that how these behaviors changes. This is what exactly I'm going to tell you. If you're gonna back to the images, okay. So we have, very cute dog here. Another question is that can you teach him the English language? This is question two. Now, the what answer comes in your mind? Again, goat. Can you teach? Okay, him or her. Okay, the Spanish. Think about it. What about the parrot? Can you teach the language? Think it about. Now, I'm sure you know the answer, and you are thinking as a mind that these, here in these two pets or animals, you cannot teach the language, right? But here in third parrot, you can teach the language somehow. What I experienced and heard about. There's a very common the word, taught word to the parrots, okay. In our Asian language or the traditional, that is called the Miyamitu. This is what exactly uh, we teach and we can teach, okay. But if you're gonna ask to teach the same word to the goat, you can't. Similar to the dog, you can't. Even you can't teach any kind of the word, okay. Now, one thing is that in these two, in three, the animals, where you found the change in behavior over here. And that change in behavior is the Miyamitu. However, the rest of animals, you couldn't change, okay. So the learning means to change in the behavior. This is the first point, okay. Now, from the human being, do you know how to drive a car? Do you know how to cook? Do you know how to write? Do you know how to ride a bike? Now, for these behavior, you never realize what exactly you are going to. When you are driving, ever you realize or you something, or you have to did you recall something? Oh no, I have to, memorize all the things to apply. For example, apply the brake, accelerator, whatever, No, you just sit, on a driving seat, and then you start driving. Similarly, a lady in the kitchen, she never, the recall the recipe, okay? She start cooking soon. Because this changed behavior, the learned behavior, you never noticed about that. And you keep on practicing. So this is the second point, okay? Now, what you can teach the dog, what you can teach the goat. Yes, we can. But what we can teach them? We can teach them their behavior, but not the language. Suppose if you're going to ask the dog, or if you're going to teach the dog the routines, okay? For example, where's his food? Definitely. And at what time he's going to eat that food. If it is in the practice, you don't have to, remind him or her. He or she will be going at the same place, okay? Similarly, goats, okay, if you started, learning to jump or something like that, or you started, fixing their times, okay, that at what time you are going to get the food, okay, at the same time, definitely she will start crying. So these both animals, they learn the behavior, but not the linguistic. Now let's talk about, the further, that what behaviors you're gonna teach. But before that, you can learn through two approaches or the two experiences. One thing is direct approach or direct experiences, and other one is the indirect experiences. Learning can take place through two experiences. One is the direct experience, means you learn by yourself. Another one is the indirect experiences. You learn from other sources. That can be environment or that can be a person. For example, a child, he started crawling and all these things when he puts his own efforts and willings. The second thing, this is called the direct experience. Many things we learned from the environment. For example, how many of you started, the learning, the driving from the institutes? Hardly few, or maybe more than few. And how many, of you learned the driving by themselves? So this is the one you learn by yourself, that is called the direct experience. And the one you learn from the others or from the environment, okay, that's the indirect approach. Now you can analyze that how many things you learn from by yourself, from your experiences. We learn from our mistakes, okay, and then we start changing the behaviors, okay. This is the third thing. Fourth thing, learning never stops. It's unstoppable. It's a continuous and it's a universal. Again, learning is continuous and unstoppable, which is universal. So I'm going to write here, learning is universal. Learning unstoppable. You cannot stop the people. And it's continuous, okay? So this is the fourth thing. Now, fifth thing, how many types of the learning? This is the question. So you can say, or in how many different ways you can learn, types of learning. So number one, which is the effective method. Effective, you can say the learning, what you're going to learn, effective. The second is, cognitive. And the third is the psychomotor. Now, psychomotor, I hope, oh, sorry. Now, effective learning means something, your feelings and ideas. Feelings and idea. For example, you learn about, the religion, your customs, what changes, it changes your, this spiritual, that's something abstract. You cannot touch that. You learned, the prayers. You learned about the religion. You learn about the customs. You learn about the values. And you learned any information or the knowledge. That is something, uh, that something brought in, some changes in you. So these are called the effective learning. Suppose, any, the person who taught you about the rituals of the Islam, rituals of the Christianity, and after that you started practicing on it. Many, the non-Muslim, converted their religion. That's a kind of the effectiveness. That something is abstract. You cannot touch it. But you learned, and after that you started practicing. Second thing is cognitive. Cognitive means mental, brain. For example, you learned 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. How you learned? Through your cognitive abilities, through your brain. It can be a multiplication, it can be addition, it can be anything that you learn through your brain. This is what exactly is the cognitive ability. Now, third thing is psychomotor. This is called fiscal, or in simple words, which is one of the common word, which you can say that muscles. Now, you have a PE in your schools, right? Or PT sometimes you call, or physical education. Now, you don't use your cognitive abilities, you use your physical abilities, your muscles, like a jumping, like running, like a football, like a cricket, these kind of activities, like a swimming. So this learning, this type of the learning is a psychomotor, where you are using your muscles. Now, three things learning. Effective learning, which is internally, or change your feelings and ideas. Second is the cognitive, that thing you learn through your brain, which is the like addition, multiplications, or in science experience and all these things. And third thing is about the psychomotor, which is the something related with your physical activities. Clear? Now, talk about, back to the point. What do you think? Parrot's learning. What was his learning? I said he learned the language. Is it a cognitive? Is it a effective? Is it a psychomotor? Think it. Share the answer. What about the goat's learning when she started jumping? Is it the psychomotor, cognitive, and effective? What about the dog's learning? Is it effective, cognitive, psychomotor? Don't forget to share the answers. I hope you got it. What is learning? We'll be meeting in the next lesson. Till that, stay connected and keep watching, keep supporting, keep sharing, keep liking the videos. Thank you so much. We'll be meeting in the next lesson. Till that, take care of yourself, stay blessed, and